back with Sherry. More talking about equipment that we both love. We are now talking about Martin saddlery products, and we have been allowed to bring our favorite bridle reins, and not so ironically, we've both chosen the same ones. So, Sherry, tell me why you like them so good.
These are definitely my most favorite reins. This is the only pair of reins that I put on every bit. I like the fact that they're a little bit thicker in my hand, and but not too thick. Like I don't feel like they're bulky. And I like that this little braided piece of leather in there, it gives you a little bit more like grip to where your hand doesn't slide if you don't want it to, but it's easy to slide down or move. And I really love the weight and how it feels in my hand.
Me too. I love the weight. I love it that it's harness leather, which I think is tougher. And I know this is a silly thing, but the pattern, which I love for grip as well, also has a distinct center. Mm-hmm. And I'm a very centered thinking person. So anyway, I can keep them even, easily. And personally, just like you said, I love the grip and the weight. They fit perfect in my hands.
Yes, definitely. I love these reins.
Because it's direct. These are direct.
It's direct. It's harness leather. I love the thickness. I don't like too thick of reins, but it just feels good in your hand. This braided, it kind of helps where your hand's not going to slip if you don't want it to. And I love the weight of it.
And they're leather. There are other leather, but I like these with this braid on top, which actually the strap itself doesn't have any break in it. This is just a braid on top to give grip. I'm a fanatic about the feel. Like when I move my fingers, I want to feel something. And those nylon reins, the ones I've used in the past anyway, when you pull on them and they're new, there's a little stretch involved. So there's give in there, which bothers me, and I'm positive that my horse feels it. Do you get that too?
I do. I don't like the way they feel in my hand. I don't know, I just can feel the weakness in it.
Yeah, me too.
And then I'm like, man, if I pull just a little bit too hard, is this gonna hold?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's total personal preference.
It is.
And this is the rein I choose.
I do think it's important, though, that people think about how things feel. I think that your choice of product shouldn't be just because it's what's available. I think you should choose for a reason. I have a reason for liking this.
Yep.
So,
and it doesn't, just because, we like it doesn't mean that the next
right.
person's
I know, because a lot of people like braided nylon reins. I see them all the time.
Yeah.
I hated them when I was a kid because when they were new, they were stretchy. And then when they got old enough to not be stretchy, I couldn't hardly push them through there.
Yes, I know. I had to go get a screwdriver to change the length of my reins.
Pick.
Yes.
That was a pain. And it hurts your hands.
Mm-hmm.
But on the note, too, of changing, so this may be something, we've never discussed this, but I do put snaps on the ends of all my reins. So...
Yeah, we have never discussed this. I, at home, have a couple sets of reins that have snaps, just to change quick from bridle to bridle if I, don't have enough reins around. But I do not compete in snaps.
Because?
I have had them come snapped. And, I prefer, if I'm going to use a snap, I prefer this.
Do you put a rubber band on it when you use it?
I put a rubber band, and I make sure that the little hook is on the outside.
Yes, definitely important.
Yes,
Yep.
And when they're on the inside, I don't know what
dig into their chin.
Well, and I've had them hook and come unsnapped.
Yeah.
And so, if I do compete in them, I will put a rubber band around them, and that's it. Which I like these snaps too, but I just prefer the direct rein to bit feel.
And I'm sure that is safer. I agree. If I'm going to use, I do use snaps. I think because I might change my mind at the last minute on something and having to undo the whole thing is going to be drive me crazy.
Right, yes.
So, and I use this snap because I like the brass hardware better. I don't like these because I have had these in the past, before I gave so much thought to things, actually just pull off.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have too.
And so I don't use these at all, but I've seen people put the rubber band, and I don't know. These, I like these the best. I also, if I'm going to use this one, same as what Sherry said about this one, I always put the clip to the outside. Mm-hmm. But I am also, you need to be careful that the little clippy thing has not gotten weak. Or just dirt in it, and then it might hang.
And I've put rubber bands around underneath there just to, just because it gives it a little bit of resistance.
I see.
And
it makes it not be able to move down.
Not be able to. So you just put a rubber band down there to where it doesn't move as easy.
Right.
And so, you know, I mean,
These are tiny details that can make or break a run. Like one little equipment problem, oops,
yes.
could not just be no money, it could be dangerous.
Yes, it could be,
Yeah.
for sure. On the wrong horse.
I'm
real
more afraid
dangerous.
of getting run off with than I am getting bucked off.
I am too. So on the note of safety and checking things over again, I sometimes get a little OCD when it comes to making sure, you know, I check my reins and that it's actually in a hole to where when I do pull, it doesn't slide. The good thing about these leather reins is they're harness leather. It's really good quality leather, and so they, you know, should withstand years of wear and tear.
I've actually, knock on wood, unless the horse chewed on it.
Yes.
I've only replaced them because I like the pretty new one.
Right. Or my horse has chewed.
Or they chewed, yeah.
I think another little thing that when you're putting these on, what I see a lot of times, and I never used to pay attention, but this cool little leather round keeper, like people will just run this through their bit, and then they won't use the keeper, and they'll just go direct and you know,
Yeah.
clip it and there you go. Well, then your keeper's not doing anything. So you make sure that when you run the end of the rein through the bit, that you come back through the keeper and then connect and put it in the right hole. And it just, I don't know, it's just
Well, the keeper to me, because I end up, for whatever reason, I end up with mine all the way back to the back hole. And so then if you don't have your keeper or you don't do it right, there would be all this
slack,
flappy,
yes.
you know, this stuff out here. And then and so when you use your keeper properly, it keeps it very clean and neat.
Yep.
There's an actual reason for that keeper.
And you make sure, so when you're attaching that, you use the hole. And if you get somewhere and you, to the end of here where there is no holes,
Punch more.
punch more.
I keep a hole
Take
punch.
the time.
I do.
to go ahead and punch
Yep,
a hole
I do too.
where you need it.
I punch a hole.
Yes. Yeah, sure.